President Biden, yes, I'm just talking to Valerie, has been in public service for more than 50 years since winning his first campaign for Newcastle City Council in Delaware. That was back in 1970, rather. And his younger sister, much younger sister, Valerie Biden Owens, has been by his side the entire time. She has been a part of every one of his political campaigns, including his 2020 White House run and 7 successful Senate races. Now, she's out with a new memoir, and it's called Growing Up Biden, something she knows a little bit about. She writes about being the only girl in a family of brothers and one of the few women at the table during much of her career. Valerie Biden Owens joins us in the studio now. Before you joined us on camera, Valerie was saying, where do I look? I wanted to say, just look at me with admiration and adoration.
That will be easy.
Don't look at the camera.
That'll be easy.
Just pretend it's just the two of us chickens here. But you know, Valerie, congratulations on your book, because I think you give us a lot of insight to your brother, give us a lot of insight into your relationship. But when you guys were growing up, when you did his first campaign, you were 25, 26?
Yeah, the county council was 1970.
Yes.
He's 3 years older than I. He used to be a lot older until he wrote his book and exposed me. So.
But you had no experience running campaigns. Why did you think you could do this? And why did he trust you?
Well, I have, from the time I opened my eyes when I was a little girl, my brother had his hand out and he said, come on, Val, we've got things to do and places to go and people to see. And he took me with him every place. And when his friends would say, why did you bring a girl? His answer was, she's not a girl, she's my sister.
Yeah.
He told me that whatever he could do, I could do better. He said I was smarter, nicer, kinder. It was not all, couldn't possibly be true, but he believed so much in me that I owed it to him and to myself to try and be the young girl that he thought I could be.
You know, one of the most telling stories to me in the book was when you all were going to college and the family didn't have enough money. And they said, and would you tell this? I think it's so illuminating about who he is and who you are. You didn't have enough money for both of you to go. And so your brother Joe goes to your parents and says...
Okay, I could go and commute.
Yes.
And my father sold cars, so he was able to get a car from the dealership at a reasonable rate that I could commute back and forth. But I wanted to go and live on college, on campus. And my brother, unbeknownst to me at the time, said, come on, I want to talk to Dad and Mom. And he said, look, I'm not going to go back. I'm going to finish college for sure, but I'm going to take a year off and earn enough money so that I can pay for my tuition and send Val this year.
Yeah. He said, let her go instead of me because she's smarter and she deserves to go.
Yeah. Yeah, he was, I mean, it was shocking. And my father was somehow found a way to make it happen that we could both go. My father very much wanted to be able to send us, but my brother handled it with a great deal of dignity and for my father.
And then he was always looking out for you. Your family is extremely close, and you give many instances of that and how the two of you have protected each other. And now the family's in the news mainly because of Hunter Biden and your brother. Is Hunter a problem for the family, in your opinion?
No. No, look,
because he certainly is under a microscope, and a lot of people are looking at his business dealings. Was it on the up and up? Was it not on the up and up? Was Joe Biden involved? Was Jimmy Biden involved? What do you want to say about that?
Well, I mentioned it in the book, and the only race that I wasn't enthusiastic about Joe getting involved in was the 2020 presidency, because I expected and was not disappointed that it would be ugly and mean, and it would be an attack on my brother Joe, personally and professionally, because the former president is very intent on bringing my brother down.
But what does that got to do with Hunter?
Well, I assumed from the beginning that the former president and his entourage would attack my brother by going and attacking the family.
Yeah.
And because of all the policies and the principles that Joe stood for, but he thought that the weak link would be, to attack my brother's child. And, Hunter has written in exquisite detail about his struggle with addiction, his walk through hell. And I am so grateful that he's been able to walk out of hell. But I don't think that there's a family in this country who hasn't tasted it or felt what it's like to see someone struggle with addiction.
But we're not talking about addiction, though. We're talking about business dealings. And I'll move on from that. Do you think there's not a there in your opinion?
There hasn't been a there since it was mentioned in 2019 or whenever it first was.
Do you think your brother should run again in 2024?
Sure, yes. I think my brother is the right person at the right time for all the right reasons. And when you look at a president or any leader, what you look for is temperament, empathy, character, integrity, and accomplishments. And that makes Joe a great leader, and he should continue.
Thank you very much, Valerie Biden.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Growing Up Biden goes on sale tomorrow wherever you like to buy your books. We'll be right back.